Everyone, my name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the poem Man Said to the Universe, written by Stephen Crane. Now, before I go into the summary and explanation of this poem, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Now, this poem is very short, so before I go into the analysis, I'm just going to recite it real quick. And it basically goes like this. A man said to the universe, "Sir, I exist." However, replied the universe, "the fact has not created in me a sense of obligation." This poem is very short, it's very quick, but I think it really delivers a message. It basically says that maybe the universe doesn't really believe that human beings are that significant, or just that maybe human beings are not that significant. If we think about the human race in the grand scheme of things, the universe is extremely old, billions of years old to be precise, and human beings have not really been here that long. And so maybe to the universe, we might not be the most significant things out there. Um, to people, we as human beings, we believe that we are significant because we have consciousness. We can think about our existence. We believe that we exist. We see that we exist. And other animals and other things that we see around the world don't have a cognitive ability to think, to speak. And so we believe that we're more important and that we should domesticate them and that we are superior than them. But in the grand scheme of the universe and existence, maybe we're not that significant. In this poem, the universe is saying, yes, that is a fact that this man exists, but the fact that he exists does not give the universe an obligation, I guess, to even care because he's not that significant in the universe. This poem, I really think, asks us as human beings to be more humble, to have a little bit more humility, because we might not be as important as we think. Human beings don't are not really that significant in terms of time, in terms of abundance in the universe. If you think about it, 100% of deaths happen in the universe because human beings, for the most part, well, I'm going to believe that for, I guess, all of the part, not the most part, that all deaths and all births happen on Earth. Um, and so we are in a very isolated part of the universe on one planet that we have all lived and all of our ancestors have lived. We've not even begun to explore the universe or to see how wide and vast the universe is. We are centralized to one planet and to one planet only. Um, and there's so much universe out there that we can't even begin to fathom of how big that the universe is. We don't live that long around the world. Most people make it into their 60s and sometimes their 70s. The only times people make it into their hundreds is when they exist or live in first world countries. People in third world or developing countries don't live that long. They make it to their 60s and perhaps their 70s. But most of them die, very young. Only in, countries like America and other first world countries where people have excellent health care, good jobs, and have the ability to get a good nutrition, that you see people living past 100. It's not really something that's common on, the entire world. So maybe humans are not that significant. Maybe that's one of the things that this poem is saying. The other thing that this thing that I think that this poem is saying is that we as humans, we want some to define our purpose, right? We want to know that we exist for a reason. And if you look at around your house or around your life, every single thing that's around you has a reason for existing. Your bed has a reason for existing, your closet, your clothes, your TV, your living room, the roof over your head. Every single thing that we created as humans has a purpose, has a reason to exist. And even the things that weren't created by us, we as humans believe that they have a reason to exist. The sun was not created by humans, but we believe, and it is that it is the thing that gives us a life as human beings, because it's the thing that gives us our plants the energy to grow and to make us food, and it's the thing that gives us energy because our skin loves sunlight. Our bodies eat, the plants that the sun helps grow, and without the sun our planet would be dead. The sun is literally the ball of energy that keeps our planet growing. And so even the things that weren't created by us, we see that they have some sort of purpose for something else, but we don't know what our purpose is. That's why we've created things such as religion and philosophy and this to define our place in the world, and sometimes we can't define it. Sometimes we do believe in certain things to get us along, but for the most part, we don't know what our purpose is. And that makes you take a step back and think about it. You can define what the world is for yourself, and you might be right, but no one was created with an instruction manual to live. For Christians, there is an instruction manual because the word Bible, stands for biblical instruction before leaving Earth. And other religions have different meanings and different philosophies and different ways to define life and to define human purpose. But there was no underlying purpose when we were existed as a species. There wasn't a document that just came down and said, here's what you need to follow, here's what you were created for. Everything else that we have created as humans has a purpose, but we did not create an instruction manual, or we weren't given one. So this poem for me begs that question. It asks that question. Sir, I exist, the man said to the universe. The universe says, that's a fact, you exist, but I do not have an obligation. You know, you exist. That's what you are. That's what you have. That's what we are as human beings. We exist and we have consciousness to know that we exist. And that's what really, really makes this poem very significant for me, because it doesn't give us an answer. It gives us a statement that what we believe and what we know is a fact, that we are alive, we are living, we do exist, but it doesn't tell us why, and it doesn't tell us that we're significant for living. So I think this poem is very humbling. It asks you to have some humility and to take a step back and to think about why you might have been created. That's how I look at this poem. That's my summary of it. That's I choose to analyze it, and I think there's a lot of evidence in the poem to support that analysis. So thank you for watching, and I hope that didn't scare you too much. And I'll see you guys for my next